oh no, she has her blankie. This is going to be one of those videos. Kind of, yeah. But you can pretty much count on, if you see me with my blankie and my glasses on, that I have something that I need to talk about right away before I have time to get ready for it. And, yep, first cup of coffee. This is not a prop cup of coffee. Believe me, this is the real freaking deal. So here's what's on my mind. I have spent my entire life being a control freak. And I know I'm not the only one. Some of you watching this are like, what? Me? I'm not a control freak. And some of you are like, yeah, crap, that's me. But we need to talk about what you can and cannot control. Because what I've done to myself by trying to control and manage everything is pretty bad. And I'm going to start with some of those symptoms. These are my specific symptoms from being a control freak. Headaches, including many years of migraines, stomach issues, lots of stomach issues, digestive issues, insomnia, anxiety. My anxiety is different. It's not like what I hear other people describe, but basically overwhelm, like tons of overwhelm. Feeling like I need to hurry and fix things. That's my form of anxiety. My form is like, I have to clean my whole house and go get my car detailed and make sure I've got plenty of money in my bank account and make sure nobody's mad at me. Right? Anyone else? Can someone here relate to this? And the thing is that there are good reasons, really good reasons why we're like this. Many people who are control freaks, I'm just going to call it that, really have a deep need to make things okay. And it comes from our childhoods. A lot of us had very chaotic or inconsistent childhoods where we felt like we had to be hyper vigilant and pay attention to the pattern. Pay attention to, when am I going to be in trouble? When am I going to be spanked? When am I going to be screamed at? When are things going to not be okay? When are we going to move again? Whatever. So we think that if we can control our lives now, it will make up for what we couldn't control as children. Now, it comes to a point in life, and mine 100% has come to this point, where it doesn't work. It can't keep going like this. Oh, the other sign a lot of adults have that are like this is where your shoulders are kind of always like this and you forget to drop your shoulders and take breaths. Shallow breathing, neck pain, shoulder pain, carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. The feeling and the thought that if you don't do it, it's not going to get done. That you can't rely on anybody else. All of these are signs of this. So, let's talk about what we can and cannot control. Whew, okay, we cannot control other people. We cannot control other people's thoughts, feelings, actions. We cannot control the government. We cannot control religion. We cannot control society. We cannot control what other people think of us. Now, I want to say that it doesn't mean that we cannot influence. Influencing something and trying to control or manage it are two different things. But basically, anything out there, right? We can influence, hopefully, and we influence best, actually, when we are using our stewardship and our control for things that are appropriate, and we'll get into that. But think about this. How many of you have tried to control what other people think of you? How other people speak about you? Has it worked for you? How many of you tried to control how somebody feels about you, right? How your romantic partner feels about you? How's that gone for you? You can't control the company you work for, some big corporation. Can you influence it? Hopefully. But can you control it? No. You're not the owner of that. So I want you to just really, as we're talking, I want you to really start to think of what do I actually in real life have no control over? And often we've tried to control it and can't. Okay? So what can we use that piece of us that wants to create order for? Well, here's what we can do. We can get our own selves, not in order, not in a way like we're a strict bad parent to ourselves, but in a way where we can say, okay, in real life, I can clean my house or pay someone to do it, which I'm a big fan of. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a big fan of paying people to do stuff for me. Okay, I can work on my own health, right? I can control what foods I put in my own body. I can control how much water I drink. I can control what time I go to bed. Doesn't mean you can necessarily control what time you go to sleep. I can create a foundation in my home with my children and say, this is how we do things in this home. And also understanding and acknowledging that they're totally separate people. You can set down boundaries with your spouse and with other people and say, so this is how I will allow myself to be treated, right? Now, people ask me this all the time because so much of this comes up in romantic relationships. Okay, but what if I tell my partner that, I'm not okay with how they're treating me and they still treat me like this? How do I speak to that? And, one of my favorite things to say is, without judging it, without making it wrong, because often it's not wrong. It's just the way they do it as compared to the way you do it. I say, so I'm really not interested in that. That doesn't work for me. So I'm not going to have any part of that. We can even do things like if we have a partner who is raging, who is very triggered, who is not, in their right mind, we can say, okay, how can I support you? Would you rather me stay and talk and listen to you? In which case, I need you to, and whatever that looks like for you, I need you to stop yelling. I need you to communicate more clearly. I need you to be loving. Or do you need some space? And then you can allow them to go ahead and get that space, maybe leave the house without chasing after them or forcing them. This is respectful and you're not trying to control what you can't control. Or you can leave. You can say, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and take the kids out to ice cream. And I love you and I hope that you're doing better when I get back. But I won't let myself be in an abusive situation. Do you see how in that case, you're not trying to control another person? You're literally just saying for you what works and doesn't work. For you, what you're interested in and not interested in. If we took our energy that we're using to try to control other people and try to control situations around us, and we put all that time and effort and energy into what we actually have say over, our own health, our own wellness, right? Our self-care. What would work for me? What needs to happen in this home for our lives to be workable? And kind of just only put it there, how much more energy would we have? And how much more effective would we be? Even in our businesses, for those of us who own our own business, I've really, really been thinking about this. If we are so well, like we're balanced, we're centered, we're loving, we're kind, but we're powerful, empowered, strong boundaries, good energy. Energy never lies. You can't trick people. But how much more successful would we be when people look at our lives and go, I don't know what they've got going on, but I'm interested, right? Being our own walking billboard for what it is that we do and that it works because it works for us. Instead of like trying to convince and cajole and drag people down the path. We just say, this is what is so healthy and so good for me and so true for me. And hey, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, clients, children, I invite you to come along. And there's room for your opinions too. there's room for you to be your own sovereign human being in this too. So this is for my fellow people trying to control everything. If we could just surrender to the reality of what we can and cannot have say over, and instead use that in ourselves and change the word control or manage to influence, and be okay when we don't influence it. And maybe if, say like you're dating someone that nothing you ever say or do has any influence in that relationship, that may be a sign that that's not the relationship for you, right? You don't want to try to control it, but you do want to have some influence there. So this is your job for today, your assignment for today, for those of you who choose to take it on. I want you to really look at what you're trying to affect out there or control out there that's not working, that can't work. It's a denial of reality, and take all of that energy and put it back here. Clean your freaking bedroom. Go to the gym, drink some water, do some meditation. Go see your therapist. Do something for you. Something that you absolutely have 100% say over. It's so empowering. I love you guys. I'm going to go cuddle in my blankie and drink the rest of my coffee. May your coffee be strong and your life be blessed. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel. And if you would be interested in working with me further, you can check out DawniAngel.com. I would love to come speak to your group, come to your business to do a training, be on your podcast, my personal favorite, or even work with you one-on-one.